Football is back, and so are the storylines. New season, new summer, new signing, same pressure. Some have arrived, have survived, and some are still under the microscope. Welcome to Touchline Truth. Let's talk football. You might have noticed in the studio today, you are seeing different faces, not just my face and this ugly guy's face. We have special guests, as in big name. On my right, and if you are familiar with X, I mean, it's one of the biggest X guys in the football niche. On my right hand side there, I have Pixanti. Give it up for Pixanti.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's our utmost pleasure to have you. And on my left side here, some of you know him, and some you don't know him. I have on my left hand side here, Hassan Kendi Afolabi, popularly known as HFO, Mr. Hassan.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's very nice to have you. And this guy, I don't need to introduce him. He has his own mouth. He will tell you guys.
My name is Densola Samson, so you all know who I am. So it's nice having you guys again. Let's get it started.
So before we roll, I mean, we know football is back, the season is back. Let's talk about the summer, the World Cup. How did it go? I mean, which team did you back for the World Cup?
Well, I was backing the Three Lions of England, and unfortunately for them in the semi-finals, I always believe that they have the chance to go past Argentina, but unfortunately Thomas Tuchel decided to make the most significant error of the tournament when he decided to rest some of his best players and even failed to bring them on when they were needing them during the course of the game. So England, yes, I was very sure that they were going to get to the final, but unfortunately, Spain winning the tournament is not far-fetched because they were the world second-ranked team before the start of the competition.
Yeah,
so
yes.
It was expected. It wasn't far-fetched, and considering the fact that there was this course that prevents the team that is ranked number 1 in the world to win the tournament. So just before the start of the tournament, they were brought from first to second, and Argentina replaced them at the top.
Yes.
So it was kind of a good coincidence for them. So congratulations to the
actually, this thing you said is just like you opened the wound, but I'm not here to talk. You guys are the star of the show. So no.
I think congratulations to me. You all know that I've always been a big fan of Spain and the fact that it was a wonderful tournament. And I love the fact that the expectation I had for Spain was very, very close. And oh God, I enjoyed the World Cup.
We know Spain won.
I enjoyed the World Cup. Please don't be bitter. I enjoyed the World Cup. For you guys to know, I predicted that Spain is going to win it. But they didn't just win it.
Why did I ask this?
They actually defeated the best teams. And you don't let me start spelling it out for you. We went ahead beating Belgium. You guys said Belgium was not good enough because they are golden what?
Mr. Maradona, please.
And also we defeated the France. You guys thought we can. I don't understand. I don't understand. Like I don't get. And also we went ahead again and defeated as much team. And they said the World Cup they want to do back to back. I don't hear that. When Rodri is on the pitch and Yamas are on the pitch, please, you have to pipe down. Thank you very much. It was a wonderful World Cup for me.
I know you've been dying to do this. I literally just played into your hands. So, Pixanti, can you tell us how the World Cup went?
The only dog I had in that fight was Ronaldo because I'm a big Ronaldo fan. I just wanted him to, have that trophy in his cabinet. He's had an amazing career and he deserves to, have that trophy in his cabinet. But I guess it wasn't meant to be, and Spain were the 7 champions, even though I thought France were going to win it. But then, like he said, Rodri happened.
Yeah, I hear that Rodri happened.
Yeah, Rodri happened.
And your 2020 Ballon d'Or.
I think they deserve it. So
just
well, talking about me, at some point, I saw myself as a jinx because almost everything I supported. They lost. I supported Portugal. They lost. I supported Belgium against Spain. They lost. I supported England. They lost. In fact, the Argentina are like I hate with every bone in my body. I supported them against Spain. They still lost. So
you might be
the World Cup is I won't say it was
Nigeria
an
didn't qualify.
eventful one for me. Well,
aside discussing the champions, I feel it was a very good tournament for Africa too.
actually,
Even though no team got to the semi-final this time, but we had an historic tournament. Out of 10 teams that qualified for the tournament, 9 make it to the knockout round,
Round
and two, I think 2 or 1 got to the quarterfinal. So
Quarterfinal.
it's a very good positive for African football.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for Nigeria, we're not in the tournament. Hopefully, we'll be able to return
Hopefully.
in the next edition.
Actually, with that performance, FIFA, if you ever have the opportunity to see this, we need more slots. The African continent, we need more slots.
Maybe then Nigeria.
I mean, if even with 10 slots or 9 slots, Nigeria can qualify. Maybe if they
Yeah,
extend
but
it
that's
to
not
like
FIFA's
30,
fault.
maybe.
actually,
That's not FIFA's fault.
actually, if it is down to the contribution of continents of federations in football, Africa has the most number of the countries on FIFA, so we should have more slots than Europe. But because of the let me say the status of the national teams, the countries,
Exactly,
the contribution in football, that was why they have more slots.
You know,
than
the
Africa.
performances over the years matters
Yes,
as well.
exactly.
So,
And given the fact that when the competition started, the first time Africa was given a slot in the tournament, I think we had one. It was Egypt. Then I think around 1990s to 1994, 98, we had 4, and now we can have as much as 10.
Yeah.
So we can't even fault FIFA for that. They've done
These
very
are
well.
no excuse for
And if you look
Nigeria not
at
qualifying.
Europe has 16. They've always had 16.
They've always had
seasons.
16, yes.
Just a few slots increase this time around.
But
So
still, regardless, with the last performance, at least if it's just 2 sports, me Nigeria,
they are not responsible for Nigeria's
I
football.
know. No, okay.
Please.
This is not me using Nigeria as an excuse, but still, with the last performance, at least.
The intention
Africa-
is still to get Nigeria to the World Cup.
Well, you can't blame me. I'm a patriot.
If you're
yeah, I mean, maybe we have to hold the NFF responsible instead of begging FIFA to increase the slots.
I think that's the
Yeah,
best
it
thing
does
to
it.
do. So that's best.
The state of football in the country has been, I mean, the Super Falcon, Eaglet, under-20. I don't think there's any category of Nigerian national team that
That is not
qualified for
affected.
it.
No.
Yes, if you look at the numbers too, in the last 5 African under 17 men's World Cup editions, Nigeria has qualified for just one. And then if you look at the history before this period, I think they still have the record for most in the history of the tournament. Under 23, the Olympics, we qualified for 1 in the last 4. The World Cup, we failed to qualify back to back for the first time in the history of the competition. And now the Women's World Cup that we've always appeared, we'll be missing out in
sad,
2027.
very,
So
very sad.
it's very, very unfortunate.
So moving away from World Cup, NFF, Nigeria, I mean, football season is back, officially back, and it so happens that they've played 1 match week. I think La Liga has already played 2 match week. Syria 1 match week.
Atletico
Germany
have played
1
2.
Match week. Has Germany started their own league?
No, they've
No, okay, they played
just
Super Cup.
played their
So so far the opening games in England, Spain, Italy. So what have we seen? What are the things I mean, first week of football.
But
What have we seen? What do you think you are expecting, or you've not seen enough?
in the new
You
season.
still need more game weeks. I mean, what are the takeouts?
We can see your jersey
Yes,
already. We can see your jersey. We can see your jersey.
Let
They are the happiest people in the.
So
They are the happiest people in the
since since you have much to say about me talking about Arsenal now, so let me take it from the league on. Yesterday we saw PSG draw 2-2 with Rennes, and to me I think it's expected, because if you look at the numbers in the last 7 before yesterday, the last 7 travels that PSG has had to Rennes, they've won just 2 and they lost 4.
Rennes has always
So
been
it was
hard nut to crack.
expected. And the highlight for me is just the performance of Ferran Torres, who was
Sharp.
criticized by Barcelona fans
The
because
World Cup.
even before the World Cup, I think a lot of his performances were criticized. And if you look at strikers, they are the ones responsible for missing chances, because that is what they're meant to do. They are meant to attempt to score, and then you can't always
score goals
at every opportunity you have. So him coming off the bench and scoring 2 goals yesterday is a very, very big one for himself and PSG, who have trusted him and then giving him the platform to shine. But still, the star of the week for me is Florent Thauvin. the lane, the
Oh,
house
yeah,
they
yeah,
left
yeah.
after,
Yes.
since returning to the French league last summer, he's been the best player. It was unfortunate not to be crowned the best player that
I
was given
think
to
he should
Ousmane
have even
Dembele.
been in the French squad that went to the
Yes,
World Cup.
yes.
Mhm.
So it was unfortunate
You were
not to
saying
win
something like that.
not
one
to
of
win
our
the best player.
podcasts.
He won their first trophy for them in the 21st century when they won the Coupe de France last season.
Yeah.
And then last weekend, the weekend before the last one, they defeated PSG by 1-0 in the French Cup final. He scored the lone goal too. And on yesterday, on the weekend, he scored twice and assisted one. So he's one of the players you need to look forward to when you talk about Europe in particular, because they will play in the Champions League too. So for me, the highest point of the weekend in the Liga, that has to go to
So
Florence
thank you very
Auburn.
much, Mr. Pinsola. The Premier League, the first week. What
Yeah,
can you say?
it's a bit surprising that the big dogs didn't eat their bone to the way they want, and
it
so
was-
sad.
It was a bad fest.
And I didn't expect nothing less from the champions. I'm so sad saying that, but it was a wonderful one, and I love the fact that Arteta is here to defend that title, because the signings, I'm a very big fan of the signings. As you guys know, I'm a very big fan of Bruno G, and adding that to that demonic midfield again is going to be something that, and we can see that also it has proven time to time that before you have to beat this Arsenal, even the Community Shield, we saw why they told Man City that we were better than you last season, and it's something that we need to see. And despite the fact that I feel Arsenal standing tall is not something I'm surprised about, and I know that they are going to stand the tallest if Arteta does not actually respect all these teams so much. Because trust me, if it goes, and at this point it's now in the predator kind of level, so he needs to start preying on everything. And about Man City, you obviously saw what Enzo Maresca does, but trust me, it worked out. I've never seen that before, but getting playing as number 6, crazy man, and a lot of tactical tweaks,
Early experiment.
and the early experiment, but it's fine though, trying it earlier, and probably I think you should just keep it simple. But yesterday it actually went that, let's just say the defender, the CBs actually came to the rescue, and it was something that was great. And Man United, you all know, I just believe that the expectation this season, please, you have to just I don't know. I like that you're midfield. I feel like you guys have quality. Is it that you're trying to? But I can't really explain what happened in that Hull City match. Maybe it was head loss, maybe different kind of thing. But I just still believe that they can't be bad. They can't be so bad like the way people think. But in the Champions League, I don't expect them to be that good, because they'll be playing teams far better than them. And of course, if they reinforce their places where they need to reinforce, is good. And I think Tottenham, Deserve what's going on. You have the only person you have not signed is me.
They spent the
The only person you have not signed is me. What's going on?
At this point, hide your players for
Please.
from Tottenham.
If you are looking for cohesion,
I
maybe you are
do.
looking for your team to actually like gel and everything, but that's embarrassing. That's very, very embarrassing.
3-0.
And 3-0 to that, no, it's very embarrassing. But one of the shocking thing for me, I think, is Brighton. The way they actually dealt with Aston Villa. We understand that they lost their key players, but trust me, I think Brighton stand tall to me. Brighton and Arsenal stand tall to me, and that's the reason why both of them are first in the league in the game week 1. I think that's just, and for the player that actually stand tall for me in the whole thing is, I think, is that Brighton player Sherwood. Yeah, he was phenomenal, and I know that it might just be game week 1 kind of fake kind of thing, but anyhow it is, I give it to you. So that's it. Thank you very much.
So, Mr.
So yeah, football is back, like you said.
I mean,
New season.
no more boring weekend.
New season, same Tottenham, same Manchester United.
I understand why. I can get why Tottenham was your first pick.
Bro,
Drivers.
It's happening
I get
again.
that.
It's happening again.
I get that.
Tottenham Hotspur, it's
Yeah.
happening again.
I've been saying it, like they deserve to relegate actually.
Yeah,
Who paid 70 million for Savinho?
it's a 5.
100 million. Is it 85?
85.
100 million for Tonali and 85
85
million for
for
Matheus
Matheus.
Fernandes. A player that got relegated
Twice.
back to back in different teams. Like, I understand the potential talks.
Yeah.
He has high ceiling, or
Yeah,
he's
that,
young,
that.
or he's this, he's that. But I mean, the market is crazy. So if you're paying that kind of crazy money, then you have this risk of having a lot of dead woods on your hands, like expensive dead wood on your hands in recent in few years to come, and then they start crying about PSR and everything. And I just think like the popular saying like it's a touchdown thing. It doesn't matter who they get. Mourinho was there.
All right.
They sacked this guy, just before a cup final.
Yes.
Antonio Conte was there.
Yes.
So they've had a lot of elite managers, and Pochettino, they just couldn't do anything with the team. And I think the luckiest one was do anything with the team. And I think the luckiest one was the Ange that came and won the Europa League. So Deserbi came last season, a manager I really rate. So I just know like Tottenham will always be Tottenham regardless of who is in charge or which player they get. And was I surprised they lost to Brighton? 100% no.
Actually,
but the biggest shock of the weekend for me was actually Manchester United. I can't lie. As much as it's watching and all of that, I wasn't expecting United to lose to Hull City. Like it just doesn't make sense. But then they needed the reality check. I can't lie, because you know how they were going last season. Oh, Adi Carrick started the season with us. They would have won the league.
Ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
They were not paying attention to the cracks because you were playing one game per week. That's it. And every single time they had to play twice in a week, they either lose or draw.
Their performance dropped. Yes.
Exactly. So they had that benefit last season, and this season there's Champions League. They get to start.
A lot of
the Carabao Cup is there. The FA Cup is there. So I don't know how they're planning to deal with that. And now they've gone to sign Tielemans, Andre Santos, and Baleba. You were saying you're a big fan of the midfield. I beg to differ. I don't know what they're trying to do right now.
I'm actually.
I have no tweets of me like begging them to fall for the Baleba scam. Baleba is just like a workhorse off the ball. He will run and do all of those things. But on the ball, look at that Manchester United midfield. Who can you tell that can grab the game by the scruff of his neck and take control of the game, set the tempo?
No, I think
Tielemans can do it.
I mean, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. So I think that was the biggest shock of the week for me. Barcelona are cruising.
And Chelsea to
everywhere we got our eyes on them. But
and also on my board,
Real Madrid as well. Like, I'm not so convinced with Real Madrid as well, because I feel like Mourinho is past his best. There's
2026.
Yeah, I mean, there's this new structure, new managers, and what they try to do, how much attention they pay to details. The old heads just don't have time for all of that. You look at like the Ancelottis, the Mourinhos. The only benefit they get from the Mourinho appointment is the cultural reset. All these big egos in the dressing room that feel like they're bigger than the
bully in the dressing room full of
it can put them in their place, egos, right? I think that's the only benefit.
That's the only reason why they brought.
But Barcelona is going to put bets to their ass this season. So it's been a great game week one for me as an Arsenal fan, obviously. So
as an Arsenal fan, I had that.
Yeah. So so I would like to add something about the Manchester City too. Actually, given how the weekend went, I think the only positive for Arsenal is that they bettered Manchester City recently. Because if you look at the match between Man City and Bournemouth, it's not like Bournemouth is one of these small teams you play. They were on a run of 18 games. So it's a very big win for them. And for Liverpool, I think they had the opportunity to beat Newcastle United, because look at the number of players that left Newcastle during the summer. You are talking about their best players now. Gordon, Guimaraes, Tonali, Trippier, and then you have a change in goalkeeper as well, a change in manager. So they had a lot of changes that Liverpool should have exploited.
Surprising.
To me, I think Newcastle is one of those teams that will really struggle this season. So the performance against Liverpool, taking 1 point from that game, even if they had to surrender to very late in the game, I think it's still a positive one for them. But for Aston Villa, as a big team yourself, you are going to the Champions League. You are returning to the Champions League. You just won the Europa League. You cannot just all your players. You can't just put price on them. Maybe whenever anybody comes and wants you say, okay, every player in our team has price. You are going to pay the price.
I actually wonder how Aston Villa get to lose every of their best players every season. And
so for Aston Villa, if you want to rub shoulders with the big boys, like you want to compete with the big boys, you you have to you need a change in mentality. You cannot always you cannot have the culture that every one of your player has prices. So whenever big teams bring money for your player, you sell them. So if you continue doing that, you are not going to sustain the performances you have in previous seasons. Now they've already gotten beaten in their first match, and a lot of their best players are injured currently. They want to bring in Leon Goretzka, who is
They signed him already.
who is an old player already, and you don't know what to expect from him. Their next games are very, very tough. So they play Arsenal next, and then they still have to compete in the Champions. So I think it's going to be a very tough season for Unai Emery, and this is Unai Emery as he is. If he performs this season, he struggles the other season. So that is what Aston Villa subscribed to, and they will have to live with it.
Talking about transfers, we've seen the business some teams have done. Well, the transfer window is still open, and majority of them still have a bit of business they want to do. But so far, which team do we think has won or is winning the window across the top teams in
the world, in Europe?
I don't think we have a lot of winners this transfer window. Maybe unpopular opinion, because I'm looking at the price tags. Every player is now 100 million. So
crazy.
For what you're getting from these players, or what you get from these players, I don't see it as much of a big win, in my opinion, because I think we were saying earlier about the Tottenham business. I think if you're looking away from how much they paid for those signings, they've done, they signed like good players. They overpaid massively, yes.
Massively.
But I mean, they addressed what they needed to address in their team. Arsenal are up there as well, in my opinion, except that left wing signing. I feel like we still need one more signing in that position. We have Zolis who have come in, and it's been brilliant so far.
Yes.
But I think we need like a special profile. I'm sorry, a different profile, in that position to the guy. When it comes to low block, I don't know. I'm struggling to see how the guy copes. He's not an elite dribbler, but he's just like an efficient guy in the final third, very smart with his decision making before he gets the ball. He knows what to do next with the ball. It's not there to like take his man on and everything. I said on a podcast I was on before, if you look at the Community Shield game, he created the most chances in the game. He had an assist. And he attempted 4 dribbles, he didn't complete any.
Yes.
So he didn't he didn't beat his man once. And if you look at the Champions League final, we set up like probably arguably the most elite low block you've ever seen in a Champions League final,
bro.
And what did he
are you making that feel good?
elite
Like,
low block?
He's talking about.
Yeah, I mean,
He's
if you're
talking
doing
about
something,
like
I see what you are
it's
doing.
making
whatever you're doing,
low block
right, just be good
special.
at it.
He's making
It's
low
not
block
that-
special.
Whatever you,
I see you, Santi.
the point
I
I'm trying
see
to
you.
drive
That's
at is,
demonic.
the point I'm trying to drive at is, what did it take to break down that low block?
A special player.
Special
players.
player, like an elite
Okay.
dribbler that can dribble in any kind of scenario, no matter how tight the space is. So I think we need that kind of
I can
profile
sense pain.
in
That
that
Vini
position.
disappointment.
in that position, right?
I can see it.
So I mean, like I said, I don't see much of a winner in this. I think the winners so far, in my opinion, are the selling clubs. They've made a lot of money for players that are not worth that price. So the selling clubs are the winners, in my opinion,
Mr.
so far.
Denisola.
Well, I can't really say much too, because the price tag, I like lamenting about the fact that what's going on, but to me, there are just 3 teams that came to my head, and I just felt like Madrid. I don't know why. Mostly the fact that they actually picked that Cucurella. Cucurella is like an S tier kind of signing to me. Like when I mean the fact S tier, and I love the fact that they bring in Bernardo Silva, even though it was free for the experience and the whole control of the game. Yeah, I do rate Diomande, but not highly the way I think I do rate him like that. But it's not like he's coming there to come and make the team like superb and everything. You're just there to just add to the signing. And Dumfries, I love the fact that they have to tell Trent, if you can't be there for us defensively, we already have someone that is there. And the fact that Mourinho coming to that team again, and we know that Mourinho can use that team to do whatever he wants to do with it. When I mean whatever he wants to do with it, we mean park the plane. and not boss any longer if there are any chance of it. So, and something that, yes, is Mourinho really that kind of thing. But another one I trust, I don't know. I don't know why Arsenal fans are not kind of, maybe the fact that Arsenal, to me, in that Premier League, Arsenal is still my best. I love the fact that buying Konsa after Saliba leaving that thing, like, you don't understand how that is. After having Nkappi and Mosquera in the team again, and you have Calafiori, Ben White, Timber is still yet to be back, and you added another kind of player who played very well in the World Cup. And that World Cup actually made me rate Konsa. And having buying Bruno G, when you have Zubimendi and having that kind of midfield, these players they are great signing. And the Zoli's kind of guy that we say that our brother says, I don't want to actually do that much and everything. But to me, in Premier League, I feel Arsenal is there. And the reason why I can't actually rate Barca's own is just because that highly is because of, I feel like they need a centre back, and the fact that
they need at least
two
defenders
like to just do it. But Rodri being there and doing all this kind of thing, like, trust me, Rodri is he's like on the god mode and everything. So I think that being said, there's no any other way I can actually put it. The rest, like what my brother said, I feel like the selling club have been the great people. So that's
to add to his point before HF comes in, to me, when you ask me, 3 things come to my mind. Number 1, Real Madrid, because I think they addressed a lot of issues their team was lacking. Number 1, the resetting the culture by bringing in Jose Mourinho, to contend with bullies, to contend with egos in an organization. You bring in a bigger bully, and I think Mourinho gives them that. And also, there is a thing about their work ethic in that team and the way they take control of games, and I think that is what Bernardo Silva also tackles, because Bernardo Silva is one of the players that his work rate is off the roof, and I think the work rate in that Real Madrid squad is somehow below par. And also the physicality in their defense, the solidity in their defense by bringing in Dumfries, Konate. Also, I think it brings about competition in some certain areas, and also that added physicality and grit in their defense. The Diomande signing, I wouldn't say it is the best signing they can make, even though I rate Diomande. I think he's a very good player and he has the potential to be a very good player, but I don't think he's better than Rodrigo that even Brahim that Madrid has. So I think they overspent on that. But in terms of tackling what is needed in the team, the issues, I think they did a great job. And secondly, Arsenal, like, it feels like Arteta already knows what he wants to do. Arsenal is one of those things that they don't parabolate in the market. They don't parabolate in the market. They know that, okay, this is what we need. They go for it. And with the Zolis that you talked about, I think he's, as you said, he's an effective player. He's a player that when you need results, he can do something, but he has a defect of unlocking defenses with dribbles. So I think if Arsenal doesn't sign a significantly better like left winger than him, I think Christos Zolis
doesn't have to be better. I think he's very good.
He's very good, like someone that is a better, like,
I think they can just a different profile. They can still sign Vinicius Junior.
But to me, Zolis is a bargain. Is the bargain of the window. There's nothing anybody wants to tell me. That guy is Arteta's perfect winger.
Do you think he's more bargain than Cucurella?
He's more bargain than Cucurella.
Consider how much did they get
34 million pounds.
How much did they get Cucurella?
Cucurella was 50.
No, it wasn't 50.
I think 52 or 55.
50 or 60.
I think Cucurella is still the bargain because of the. To me,
it's only for 34 million pounds.
No, because I've seen Cucurella in the highest stage.
It's just about the significance of these players to their team. If you look at Arsenal, they've been lacking that left wing.
I think India have been lacking left.
There is a lot of load.
Real Madrid too. They have,
they have been lacking left.
Considering the fact that they just brought in
Carreras,
not knowledgeable, and they have Mendy too. Although those players are not really contributing. Yes, Cucurella will start for them, but looking at what Arsenal missed last season, like
The
what
type
they
of
really
body
needed last season.
Zolis will
I
take
think
off
Zolis,
Saka,
yes.
that right hand side.
But Trossard
the kind of body is going to take off Saka is going to be really
Trossard actually in the title race
enormous.
was one of the big things that you guys I don't think you guys are giving that guy that so much praise.
Actually,
in the title race, Trossard was actually very effective.
Trossard
was very effective in your title race.
Not very effective.
For your title race in your left wing,
and I
not
think,
better than Martinez.
And I think Zolis and Trossard are actually the same players. The difference is that Zolis is just quite mobile. Zolis is like a mobile
Trossard. Zolis are like an Arteta.
Trossard was very effective in your title race. Not very effective.
For your title race in your left wing, not better than Martinez.
And I think Zolis and Trossard are actually the same players. The difference is that Zolis is just quite mobile. Zolis is like a mobile Trossard.
Zolis are like an Arteta kind of player.
He will walk off the ball, on the ball,
like the guy just wants it.
You know, I was looking at the defensive numbers, like on defensive contributions in the match against Coventry City. He had 7 defensive contributions. Only Martin Odegaard, who had 8, Miles Lewis Kelly 7, and Bukayo Saka 7. Those are the players that have.
He was everywhere, on the ball, off the ball, and the way he was constantly showing up to receive the ball, he's not hiding.
No, because what made me think that Cucurella is kind of that kind of bargain to me is because maybe probably the old thing he has with Chelsea, and the fact that we have seen Cucurella in the highest level, like highest level in the World Cup, in the Euros, and we even see in Chelsea, and even the fact that Cucurella went around that price, despite the fact the market is very.
You also have to consider the inflation.
Going back is Cucurella up to 28?
Cucurella should be
I think
26,
27,
and to my last
you are looking at an attacking player who had 41 goal involvement in the league in the
last
season. Only Harry Kane had more goal contribution, and Harry Kane had 41.
For that price,
so for 34 million pounds, that is bargain.
And them signing Bruno G, Konsa, there can't have been any better signing than those 2 signings. So now moving to my third team, it's unpopular. I think Manchester United have done good business compared to the fact of the kind of business that they've been doing. Like pro Ferguson, I think they've done pretty good business, especially in their midfield. But they still have a lot of things to address. But so far for me, based on their midfield signings, I think they have also done good business in the middle. So
yes, for me, I think you guys have already, mentioned the teams that actually did best in the transfer window. Real Madrid, for me, they are Real Madrid, for me, they did the best business. I think Kingsley has already analyzed everything. Like the manager is the first thing they got right, because they had a lot of issues due to like dressing room issues during the end. So that said, I think Manchester United too, they had a good summer, because you see last season they spent on attackers. Like they revamped the attack. They brought in Konya, Shesko, Mbemo, so those players. And this summer now they invested in the midfield.
Maybe next summer.
And if you look at the age of the players that were brought in, I think only Tielemans is kind of
29.
old at 29. So they brought in Baliba, Andre Santos. These are players for the future. And if you want to rebuild, the best thing to do is buy young and then try to grow.
And they still have Mino as well.
They still have Mino. So and then Arsenal 2 years, but I would like to mention Atletico Madrid, especially if they manage to keep Julian Alvarez before the end of the window, because
I saw Simeone, they always sign.
Yes, they might not really perform. Actually, I'm not saying they will perform, but if you look at the players they brought in and the places those players fix, is very good. They had a very good summer. They brought in and for the prices too. They brought in Christian Romero. The price was, very affordable. They brought in Morten Jomad. Last season was just the defense, and I've always been saying it even before they appointed Jose Mourinho, that if you want to beat Barcelona in a league race, in a La Liga race, that Real Madrid defense cannot do it. And when Jose Mourinho came on board, he brought in Konate, Cucurella, all those heavy lift ahead, all those heavy defenders. So compare the likes of Konate to Uysin. that Xabi Alonso brought in last season. You need that physicality if you want to play Barcelona.
Exactly.
You need someone like Cucurella to tackle Lamine Yamal. So I think they did very well. They are the biggest winner of the transfer window for me. They stand out.
Now, moving on, we are going back to the Premier League. So, and for the big questions that everyone might want to know our opinions on, and we already know Arsenal will win the league, right?
100%.
They win the league again, but let's say this is Arsenal. Which other team do I feel can compete with Arsenal? Can at least give Arsenal problem, at least get close. We know they are not going to win. Yes, I can tell you for a fact that Arsenal is winning that league. But if I'm to pick one team or maybe two teams that I feel could give Arsenal a chase, it might be unpopular, but I feel it is still Man City and Maresca, to be fair, and Alonso's Chelsea. And the only reason why I'll pick Alonso's Chelsea is because of the minimum games they are going to play. Because Manchester United and Carrick also rode on that luck this past season. So you can't ever underrate a fresh team every game week. I mean, while Arsenal will play Champions League, FA, Carabao, Man U, Liverpool, and the likes, they have just one game to play, and they will always be fresh. That's why Man U fans were saying last season, if Carrick have started the league with us, we would have won. That is nonsense. The only reason why they did that way was because of the one game they are playing. Fatigue is a major stuff when it comes to competing for a league title, and that is why teams that go on the way tend to have crazy depth, and that is what Arsenal has been using to dominate and what they will continue to use to dominate. So if I'm told to pick, I'll go for Maresca's Man City first because of the quality he has, and I still believe he's a good coach. I believe he's a good coach. So for me, Maresca and Chelsea. So Santi, talking about Man City, how do you think they can tackle the post-Rodri and the post-Guardiola situation, and also Carrick's first full season in charge? How do you think it's going to?
I'll start from Manchester United. I think Carrick has potential to be a very good manager. Okay. Is he there yet? No. Because I was following from his time at Middlesbrough. I think he was really good there until some point where they had to move on from me, right? But he's had a brilliant start to his Manchester United career. Like I said earlier, he has the potential to go on and, and be a very good manager. And the only positive, like I said earlier, for what I expect them to do, the signings they've made in their midfield, I personally don't think they are going to achieve the expectation I have for them.
Okay.
Maybe other people want them to compete for top 4, but they've done that like in the last few years. 2023 season, they were there competing, right? Yes. They just concluded season as well. They were there competing for top 4. At some point, you have to move on to the next level. Yeah. So that's why I'm personally expecting them to start competing for titles, right? And the only positive to that midfield signing is the fact that Carrick, who was an elite midfielder during his playing days, is the one overseeing their midfield rebuild.
Yes.
So maybe there's something there. They might not be ready yet, but maybe in a few years' time, they might be there. So I have my eyes on them. I don't expect them to compete immediately, but I expect them to go on the upward trajectory, from here. If the fans are patient enough, because it's not going to be a smooth ride.
Definitely.
Right? At some point, they'll be very, very good. At some point, yes. At some point, there will be like some rough patch of form here and there. And if their fans are not so reactionary, like how they've always been, so I expect them to be up there in a few years to come. And speaking of Manchester City, I've been begging and praying to God all summer. Take Rodri out of the Premier League.
I mean, every Premier League club
just take the guy away. Like, it's the core of the team. 23-24 season, Rodri had an ACL. 24-25 season.
Yeah.
So he had an ACL out of the season. See how they struggled. Last season, go back to the games Rodri didn't play. You see how they struggled. So Rodri out of the team, I don't know how they replace him. They haven't replaced Rodri yet.
They haven't.
No Buadi, no Anderson. So maybe they switch their system up. And Maresca is a coach I rate very well. I think he's a very good coach. So if there's a team that's going to give us a problem, it's Man City, in my opinion. So have they replaced Rodri? No. But I mean, fingers crossed on how they cope without Rodri, because they are going to miss him.
How about Pep? What impact do you think his departure would have on their future transfers? You know, having a coach like Pep also adds to your ability to get top players. How do you think Man City would do?
Yeah, it will obviously affect them, because a lot of players wanted to play for the guy and will still want to play for the guy. Now that he's gone, they have an upcoming manager in place. They are just less attractive as a club right now than they would have been if Pep is still in charge.
Okay. Now, thank you very much, Pixanti. HF, Liverpool and Andoni Iraola, and we all know that the Egyptian king is now plying in trade in Turkey. How do you think life at Anfield will be?
Well, I think Andoni Iraola is unfortunate not to benefit from the Salah magic, because that was the reason Arne Slot won the Premier League. That was the only reason.
It's like Salah did like this.
Won the Premier League. So unfortunately for Andoni Iraola, they wouldn't have that fortitude. But still, I think Iraola is the kind of Liverpool manager. He's the kind of Liverpool manager because of the way he plays and the type of players he needs. But still, Liverpool are coming short in the window, because the manager has been saying it since the start of the summer that they need wingers. They need wingers, and if you look at the players they are interested in right now, none of those has the productivity of Mohamed Salah. So that is definitely going to take a toll on the team, as it did last season, because Salah struggled, and we can all see Liverpool struggle too. So it's I'll say it's a kind of rebuild phase, because when you look at the attackers they are bringing in, Vitor Munoz, now they are looking at depending on Rio Ngomoa, who is still a very young player. So they are talking of Minte, another young player. So it's like the attack is has undergone a revamp. So they will need to see what this new set of players brings to them. And this season, I'm very sure they are not challenging for the league title. The top four will be a priority for them. And then if they are able to keep Van Dijk, because when you undergo transition, the top players in the team that need success, they are approaching the later stages of their career. They want trophies. So if you can keep Van Dijk, I think in the next season, after this one, like the next season now, maybe if they put in a good performance this season, then next season I think they'll be back to compete for the Premier League title.
All right, thank you very much. Now, I know you've been expecting this question. I mean, I specifically set aside that question for you. Now, let's go to Spain. Hansi Flick and
Jose
Mourinho, Real Madrid, and Barcelona. The battle for supremacy in La Liga. Tell us what you feel.
I don't know why you're calling it supremacy, but I think that's a very strong word. I think it's a battle of domination, and as you all know, Hansi Flick has proven to be one of the great managers, winning the La Liga back-to-back. Now,
so you are saying he's going to do it repeat
by the special grace of God. Wow. Like I don't know why you're saying it. The fact that Rodri is in that team now, I can tell you that it's something that is so simple. And I don't rate all this Adeyemi, these road runners, this where Gordon is because we understand that Hansi Flick has this kind of I want this pacey kind of thing, and maybe being Ferran Torres gone, maybe Adeyemi might be their lucky charm, that joker card. I don't know, but as far as Yaman and Rafinha is there, I think the attack is very decent. They can do the carry job, and also Rodri joining the whole midfield, and the whole midfield is all stacked up. But the defense, they have used that defense to win 2 La Liga. So I don't see the reason why they can't use it to win it again. So he has been proven over time with that defense and everything. So for Real Madrid, I feel like this one is not going to be like an avalanche like last season. Like the fact that it was a landslide that Barca had given me 32. We already know that Barca is already going to win. Yes. But I know Mourinho is not going to give him he's not going to give him an easy ride. He's going to like me and you in this place and everything. So I believe, to me, it's still Barca, and Atletico they are going to they're going to stay in their normal position, the top 3 or top 4 and everything. So there's no brainer in it. I still think Arsenal is going back, doing it the 3-peat. I have this strong belief. So.
And also, I also believe if Mourinho doesn't do anything, it will bring that old feel of a Clasico back.
Exactly.
You know, a Clasico used to be a battlefield, like they won't kill themselves, they won't injure themselves. I think Mourinho will bring that thing back.
And it might be a 2-point kind of lead, or maybe 1-point kind of lead. They used to win the whole league, I believe. But I still feel Ansi, Rodri, thank you for coming.
Thank you guys. I think we are now at the end of the show, and if you want more of this, you want to see more of our faces on this show, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you. See you.